Hi Anytime Fitness crew, my name is Sophie. I'm a qualified nutritionist and PT with FI Fit Nation, as well as an environmental scientist. I've been working in the fitness industry for over 10 years. And today, I'm going to share with you an overview of my top 5 nutrition trends for 2020. There will also be 5 supporting videos that will go into more depth for each trend. The first one is the rise in personalised nutrition. You might have heard of a term kicking around, nutrigenomics, which is all about the interaction between the food we eat and our genes. Scientists have isolated some gene variants specifically relating to caffeine, sugar-seeking behaviour and obesity. As you know, working in the fitness industry, caffeine supplements and coffee are commonly used by clients and athletes to enhance performance, but they may only be effective for half the population. About 50% of the population are what's called fast metabolizers of caffeine. 10% are slow, and the remaining 40% in between. Caffeine use has shown to increase athletic endurance in fast metabolizers, but not in slow metabolizers. In fact, those who metabolize caffeine slowly had a heightened risk of heart attack if they continued to drink coffee. Let's talk about obesity. Can people blame their genes for being obese? Well, there's been over 100 genes linked to obesity, and in particular, the FTO gene has been isolated. People who have a variant of this gene have a 20 to 30% higher risk of obesity. The thing is, most of us carry this FTO gene. 74% of people descended from Europe and 44% of Asians have an FTO variation. But it's only if the environment allows this gene to be expressed that obesity occurs. And this environment is the obesogenic environment we're all living in now. You know, the one with junk food everywhere, continual overeating, more sitting around. The second trend we'll see this year is the rise of new protein sources. As people become more concerned about the environment and the impacts of climate change, diets may shift. We've seen the number of people following a vegetarian or vegan diet increasing, both for health and environmental reasons. Eating a lot of meat has significant environmental implications, and Australians like to eat a lot, like 95 kilograms per year. In fact, we're the 6th biggest consumer of meat globally. So what are the alternatives? Well, the latest trend in protein is eating insects, like crickets. You can buy cricket protein powder from the supermarkets now, and it works really well in pancakes, banana bread, energy balls, and protein bars. Crickets have a much smaller environmental impact than other protein sources like beef, and they actually have the same or even more protein content. The third trend that's happening right now is the continual flooding of the market with drinks and foods to improve gut health, like kombucha. Good gut health has also been linked to a lower risk of obesity and depression. Probiotics are bacteria and yeasts that are beneficial to the gut. So people want to improve gut health and are looking for a probiotic supplement, drink, or a superfood to do it. You see the word probiotic on everything now, from cheese to chocolate, shampoo, biscuits. However, because the research around the effectiveness of probiotics is mixed, many people may be taking a probiotic supplement or food or drink and are just wasting their money. To improve gut health, rather than reach for a pill or processed food, the first step is to reduce the junk food, artificial sweeteners, and add in prebiotics. Prebiotics are the food for the probiotics, and they're found in fibre-rich foods like legumes, fruit, and veggies. Here's some ideas. Apple and nut butter as a snack. Great extra veggies like broccoli stalks into pasta sauce. Stack your omelette with veggies such as spinach and mushrooms, and choose rye wholemeal bread over white. The fourth trend will be the continued rise of organic food, as environmental concerns now top the list for many Aussies. 65% of us have bought at least one organic food item in the past year. The market value of organic is increasing at a rate of 13% per year. Most people buy the organics from the supermarkets, who report that their organic lines are increasing at a rate of 20% per year. The main reasons people buy organic food are to reduce the chemical load on the body, the environmental benefits of not using chemical fertilisers and pesticides, and also for animal welfare reasons. If you're prioritising which foods to buy organic to reduce chemical load, go for the foods you eat the skin of. Grapes, apples, berries, and I would be buying organic meat, poultry and dairy because toxins bioaccumulate up the food chain. The fifth trend we'll see this year is a focus on eating disorders and mental health in general. In Australia, 10% of women and 8% of men regularly engage in some sort of disordered eating behaviour. And nearly half of those with an eating disorder have binge eating disorder, which has only recently been listed as a unique eating disorder category. Binge eating disorder is when someone eats a large amount of food in a short period of time. For example, a loaf of bread or a tub of ice cream, and this happens at least once a week for 3 months or more. People who diet are 6 times more likely to develop an eating disorder, which is another reason to never recommend restrictive diets to clients. Despite being out of scope of practice for fitness professionals, this can be damaging long term to people's physical and mental health. So there you go, there's my top 5 nutrition trends for 2020.